This is Nathan from the ebookcreator.com. Today for this video I'm going to give you a complete walkthrough of the NOOKcolor. So everything starts out here. You got your home menu. You get here by pushing this N button down here. This is the only hardware button aside from volume buttons over here, the power button. So you got three different windows here for your home. You can drag around your books, organize them however you want. You hold down the center, you get different options for changing wallpaper. You can use your own photos to get away from there. There's no back button, which takes a little getting used to. You gotta figure out how to go with that. Usually you just tap on the outside of a selection. So like I said, you can organize your ebooks however you want on here from your list. Move them around. And if you hold down on them, you get the book information, where you can then lend it if you want, or add a review. Okay, so you also got this other icon up here for your recently read stuff, and this button down here always takes you back to your recently read stuff. So like I said, you get back to the home menu always by pushing the Nook button down here. This button down here brings up your other menu, where you can go to the library. So you got several different options for organizing your bookshelf right here. And then you got different sections for magazines, newspapers. You can create your custom shelves, and then all your side-loaded stuff you can get through here into your folders. Also will be added into the books. As you can see, I've got some side-loaded books here that don't have the cover. And then you got the Lend Me section over here. Okay, so let me show you an ebook real quick. So you turn pages by just tapping or sliding. You can add bookmarks by tapping up here. There it is. And then you can also, if you tap on the center of the screen, that's when it brings up this menu right here. You got table of contents. It also sorts your highlights. Got active hyperlinks, and a lot of these ones, this is one of the classic books, so it's got footnotes. Okay, so you tap on the center, it brings this up. Different text options. There's a whole bunch of different text options. You got 6 different sizes. Let's go back to a page with some text here. Let's get to a normal page. So you can see it turns pages pretty fast. Keeps going once you tap. Okay, so as far as the font options, so there's a whole bunch of different font sizes, like I said. Let's go right here in the middle. And then there's also these a whole bunch of different font types. So that's what's really cool about the Nook. You can change different font types just on the fly like this. I'm kind of liking this font right here. And then you can also set the background color, or the theme, essentially. You got night mode. There's a whole bunch of them here. Letter, mocha, sepia. And then these icons down here set up how, let's go back to a normal one here. These icons down here set up how much spacing you want between the lines. And then these ones are the margin. So if you want large margins. I kind of like my stuff set like that. You can turn off on and off the publisher defaults. Adjust brightness right here. So yeah, and then the other function is you can highlight by holding down on a word, drag around the cursor, add notes using the keyboard, and it adds a little clip there. And you can view notes, remove notes, change your highlight color. So I went with the same one. And then, okay, so if you want to look up a word in the dictionary, I'm kind of at an odd angle here, so you just hit look up, pops up your dictionary icon. You can also search Wikipedia or Google using the Wi-Fi. The only thing bad about the NOOKcolor, it doesn't have any 3G like the regular Nook did. So while we're in the browser, let me show you how this works. You double tap to zoom in. And if you're scrolling, it brings up this button right here where you can zoom in even further. Also works in landscape mode. It's got the G sensor where it automatically rotates. So it's pretty smooth going here. Let's see what happens when we hold down. You get information for find on page, select text, page info. You can adjust the settings in here. There's a few different options for the browser. As far as text size goes, plugins, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. It is disappointing though that you can't install other Android browsers, because there's a few other ones that are a little bit better than this base Android browser. So that's basically how that works, and you got lists for bookmarks, all that stuff. And if you tap, like I said, it zooms in. So let's go back out of here. So to go back to reading, you just got that button down there all the time. It never goes away, so it's always easy to get right back to where you were reading. So let me show you a magazine now. Magazine and some newspapers. So I downloaded this yesterday. This is where the NOOKcolor really shows its colors, obviously. It's got a lot of color. The screen is fantastic. It's actually a little better than the iPad, I'd say. You can't see the pixelization on text as much because of the higher resolution. So yeah, you zoom in by pinching, turn pages. So what's cool, you tap in the center, brings up all the pages. You can scroll through here. So that's pretty fast way to navigate through the magazine. And then let me show you here. Once you get onto an article, you get article view, where it pops up. I guess I didn't hit it. Okay, pops up the article, so you can easily read it like this. You get text size, brightness settings. Okay, so let's go back this way. And then if you want to go to the next article, you just go like that. So that's how magazines work. Let me show you newspaper. Back in library. That's one, New York Times. So it'll show you the, you turn pages like just by tapping. Make sure not to hit the heading. When you hit the heading, it'll take you to that article. So you got your same settings in here for same setup as ebooks, and same goes for on-screen functions. You can also share. I didn't show you that earlier. You can share stuff on. You can import your Google contacts. So let me show you the other stuff down here. You've got Shop. Takes you to the Barnes & Noble store to get some new content here. You got some different quick stuff here. What I found is the best way to go is just tap the browse button. You get all the different sections here. Return to Shop Home, and you'll get the whole list. So that way you can easily find what you're looking for. Different sections. Then once you go into different subsections, you'll have different lists. When you hit browse, you'll have the subsections for that category. Okay, so search. You got search on here. Search all your books, of course. Some extras. It doesn't have a whole lot at this point. I imagine they'll be adding some more. They got their own SDK. But you got chess, a couple of crosswords, games like that. Oh, I didn't push it. Okay. Let's go back here, new game. This is a way to kill time if you don't feel like reading. Okay. Back to extras. Like I already showed you, the web browser. You got Pandora Internet Radio, so you can stream music over Wi-Fi. It's a really cool feature. A couple of different games here. You got gallery for images. Of course, the color screen is really nice for these images. Set up slideshows. Plays video too. I haven't done a lot of video, but I play a few, and they are really smooth, really nice colors. That would be in library under your videos, because you sideload that stuff in. And so since it's got the 16:9 widescreen, it's a good setup for the video playback. So that's one of its best features, I think. Nice and smooth. The colors are really nice. that's definitely the NOOKcolor. It lives up to its name. The color is really, really nice. And it's really like a solid color. It's not like pixelated like some of them are. It's probably the solidest, like probably the best as far as reading goes, because the pixelation isn't as noticeable and you can adjust the brightness. So they definitely did a good job with the screen technology, I'd say. Okay, a couple other details. It supports Microsoft Office documents. It has Quick Office, PDFs as well. Let me show you how these work. In your documents here, let me show you some PDFs. So this is a comic. Let's see here, for options in here, you got fit to width, fit the page, and go to. You also got landscape mode. It turns pages by going up and down instead of side to side. Zoom in and out, like I said. It's got the icon of that for that as well. Okay. Accidentally typed that. Whenever you tap that, it brings that up. Okay, so you got a little back button there for PDFs. Let me show you a text PDF. One thing I noticed about PDFs so far, this is just right after the Nook's launch, doesn't remember your page you were on, so it starts you out at the beginning every time. And let's see here. There aren't any bookmarks or anything. So really, PDF functions, it's just for viewing PDFs. You can't add notes with them like you can on the other ebooks. Doesn't have a dictionary or anything like that. Just has zoom, essentially. So when you do the on-screen taps, it doesn't do anything. You gotta use the pinch to zoom. Then it takes a second to load. But once you got that, I mean, obviously that's really easy to read, and it's doesn't have a lot of features, but as far as displaying it, does a good job of that, of course. Okay, let me show you one last thing. They're marketing the NOOKcolor a lot for children's books. So there's children's books have this read to me feature, which unfortunately isn't available in regular books as text to speech, but for kids you got this. You can read yourself, and then it'll automatically go along if you push read to me.
The Elephant's Child, How the Elephant Got His Trunk, by Rudyard Kipling, adapted by Karen Baker. Long ago,
and you turn the pages, it'll keep up.
Had no trunks. They had only blackish bulgy noses.
Okay, so that about wraps up the NOOKcolor review. Check out the ebookreader.com. I'll have a written review and a bunch of other resources for the NOOKcolor. Thank you for watching.